play Name That Secret Celebrity. On the phone right now is Crystal in Iowa. Crystal, how are you this morning?
I'm good. Good morning, studio.
Good morning.
What's been happening with you today?
Just on my way to work.
And how's the drive? Are there less cars out since people are staying home?
Yes, absolutely. It's actually kind of nice.
I was driving to pick up food for Amy's birthday yesterday, and it was 5 p.m., and it is usually jam-peckered, man. And I was just flying through nothing. I saw like 4 cars.
It's weird, right?
I was like, dang, this is nice. But then I felt bad for thinking it was nice.
I know when I was leaving to come to your house, normally that's high traffic time. And I thought, I better MapQuest and see how, or Google it.
MapQuest?
Whatever.
Wow. Did you get on MySpace first before you hopped over?
I better map it to see how long it's going to take
Were
me
you
to
on
get
AOL
there.
when you did that?
No, whatever. I was on Google Maps on my phone, but it was 17 minutes door to door, which is would never be possible at 5:30 p.m. ever. It would probably take 45 minutes.
Was it after you finished watching Clarissa Explains It All?
Mm-hmm.
On
You're so
Nickelodeon.
funny.
Crystal, we're going to play Name That Secret Celebrity. I will play you a celebrity. You have to guess what celebrity's voice you're hearing. So far, the guesses have been Mel Gibson, Eddie Murphy, and Willie Nelson, and all those guesses have been wrong. Okay, here is the clip.
In time, after being perched atop their mother's feet for 1,000 paces, like a child learning to dance on her mother's shoes, the chick takes his first steps alone.
Okay, so you hear that celebrity. Can you name that secret celebrity?
I'm pretty sure it's Harrison Ford.
It is not Harrison Ford. It is not.
Okay.
Okay, well, moving on. Would you like to shout out to anybody, Crystal, while you're on the phone?
Yeah, I want to say happy birthday, Amy. My birthday was yesterday as well.
Hey, look at you.
Well, happy
Wow.
birthday to you.
And Eddie's is Saturday.
Yay!
Yeah.
No, nice. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Crystal, what'd you do for your birthday?
My family actually surprised me with a very nice dinner at home and a couple desserts and some very nice presents.
Oh, wow.
So it was nice and quiet.
So, well, how about this? I don't know what your morning is, but why don't you stay on the phone? Let's give her a shot at another game, and maybe she can win some crap in the back.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
We got a bunch of like cool prizes back there that we have never given away, but you can win it. We call it crap in the back. Would you like to play another game coming up in a second?
Absolutely.
Okay, Ray, let's leave her on. She didn't get that right because she guessed Harrison Ford, right? I wrote it down. Are we just, because we're in a studio, are our headphones sounding different to us? Because it sounds like I know exactly who that person is. Listen, I know who it is because I made the game up, but I still feel like even if I didn't know, I would know whose voice that was. I could be wrong, but I feel like that voice is so distinct. And then I keep thinking every caller is going to nail it, and they don't. Do you guys feel the same way?
No, I mean, I think I know
It's
who it
obvious.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you know who it is because I've told you who it is. But I mean, would you know who it is?
I think
Yes.
so. It's so obvious.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll give it another shot tomorrow for sure. There are a few things in life that I get extremely frustrated at, and maybe this is my fault. Maybe I picked a bad clip. Should I switch the clip, Mike?
So,
You don't think so?
Keep the clip.
Keep
mean
the same clip, not
same
the same
person?
person, but the same. I mean, the same person, but a different clip.
right, to like switch it up.
Just I don't understand. Okay. Well, I have a game for Crystal coming up for her birthday. Amy, you'll have a chance to win her those prizes.
Crap in the back.
Also, it's good stuff though. Like it's a Brothers Osborne signed record that we just had laying in the back.
Yeah.
Like a vinyl. Also, there's a major celebrity that had to self-isolate after partying with Kevin Durant, the basketball player who has coronavirus.
Oh.
So we'll tell you who that is. And then they finally had to let this group of people know about coronavirus. They've been keeping it quiet for a long time. And they finally had to go, guys, this has been happening and you have no idea. So we'll get to all that coming up in a second. Bobby Bones Show. Be right back. I was reading a story about how they're trying to pass some legislation that will not allow people who had been hoarding food to bring all the food back after Corona goes away. For 2 reasons. 1, because they want to stop that in the future. And 2, they go, well, your Corona may be on the bag, maybe on the food, like on the carrier of the food.
Oh, okay.
So mostly, though, because people went berserk and they have 47 rolls of toilet paper and they're like, well, we don't want you to bring that back. You live with it now.
Right.
Yeah. So You have all the food on your plate. You put it there, now eat it.
Yeah.
Or you're going to sit there until you use all that toilet paper. I want to see you wipe with every square. That's what they should say. They should put a camera on and be like, all right, wipe. Let's go. Don't stop wiping until it's all gone. But I saw that was happening, or they're trying to push that through. There are probably things that they could push through that are a little more important right this second, but I do like the idea of that. The story I was talking about was Drake. He is self-isolating because he was partying with Kevin Durant before Kevin Durant got coronavirus. God's plan, I got corona. It was God's plan. I get corona in the club. And then Idris Elba, the actor who has it, thinks he got it from Justin Trudeau's wife, who is the Canadian Prime Minister.
Oh, wow.
But again, it's not like an STD where someone probably knew they had it and didn't tell. People don't even know they have it.
Right.
I was listening to Dr. Fauci talk yesterday about it can live in you for 2, 3, 4 days before there's ever a symptom, but it's living in you and is also transferable. It's also contagious before you even know you have it. So it's chilling in and on you, and it's contagious, but you don't know you got it. So it's not your fault. But you got to make that call like, hey, I got it. And I got to let everybody know that I had recently been around, that I have it. It almost feels like that call they would say when if you got an STD, you had to call everybody. I never had to make that call.
No, of course not.
No.
Yeah.
So saw that. This Big Brother cast in Germany, they had been kept from knowing their coronavirus was a thing. It began on February 6th. Today's March 19th. So you're looking at all of pretty much the time where this has become a massive story. They've been locked in the house. They had no idea how the virus had spread across Europe. In Spain, Italy in full lockdown. You know, we're doing here. We're in the early stages of that. But last night, the housemates were given an update live on air. Boy, talk about a ratings bonanza. I would have tuned into that. I don't even know German.
Right.
They'd have been like, Kraut, Klappel. And I'd been like, yeah, this is good.
So
How's my German, by the way?
I don't think you got one word.
No, I thought it was
I said Kraut.
good.
Sauerkraut?
Yeah.
Oh,
But they said this is what's been happening. The resident physician goes in. They sat behind a glass screen to give them the news. They said, hey, we'd like to inform you as to why we're here and why we're behind a glass screen. The camera panned around the seating area. Of course, the housemates fell into a stunned silence. And he went all the way into COVID-19 and what it is and why it's hurting a lot of people. If I were that cast, I'd be like, you know what? Just leave us in here.
Yeah, exactly.
2 things. The virus isn't in here. 2, they're going to be so famous when it's over because that whole Germany, Europe, we've never talked about Germany Big Brother on this show.
That's true.
ever.
They're going to be so known because it's all people are going to be watching. So the people are going to be, anyway, they're going to let them talk to their families, which they don't normally do. So they'll let them get on the phone. If any of them want to leave, I think they can.
Well, yeah, but why would you?
Well, I guess if someone was sick, you need to go take care of them.
Okay.
But other than that, right. They can just do live streams like every country music artist. Mm-hmm. Just get on. Like every artist is at the same time. I pulled up my Instagram last night and it was like 9 artists sitting like in their bathroom with a guitar. Just going, I'll take a request. Somebody give me a request. It's like, we should spread these out a little bit so we can watch
Like
them.
schedule them?
Yeah.
You know, just like,
like a festival. There's times.
Right.
yeah. Like Friday night and here 11 times you can watch
Funny.
your favorite artist.
Somebody should coordinate the Instagram live festival.
Crystal is on again. Crystal, are you ready to play this game? Yesterday was your birthday, so let's see if we can get you a prize, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. Now, are you still sitting in your car or did you go into work?
No, I'm still on my way to work.
All right. I get a drink here. We're going to do, for our prize for the crap in the back. Ray, what's up for grabs in the crap in the back today?
Yeah, we're doing the Brothers Osborne vinyl.
Signed?
Yep.
Yep.
There's also Kip Moore CD.
Nice. Is it signed?
No.
Oh, cool.
And then George Strait t-shirt.
Oh.
Ooh.
Vintage.
Are you
That's-
sure it's vintage?
It might just have a lot of tour dates when you did the 60 number ones tour.
Oh, so it's like from
I don't know if
6
vintage
years ago.
is a few years ago.
It's from 2013 or 14 maybe.
Well, regardless, it's crap in the bag. All right, your chance to win it, Crystal. Here we go. We're gonna give Amy a try to win you this.
gosh.
What?
The pressure.
Since today, March 19th, is the first day of spring, Amy, you have to answer questions about famous firsts.
Okay.
You have 60 seconds to get all 10 questions right. If you get all 10, the caller wins the prize. If you don't know an answer, say pass. We'll come back to it. The time starts when I read the first question. Ready to go for the crab in the back.
Come on, Amy.
You can do this. Raymundo, clock ready.
Yes.
Who was the first president of the United States?
George Washington.
Who was the first man on the moon?
Neil Armstrong.
Correct. What medal do you get for first place in the Olympics?
Gold.
Correct. What's the name of my first book?
Bare Bones.
Correct. Who was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean?
Amelia Earhart.
Correct. Who is the first lady of the United States?
Oh my gosh. A pass.
What is the first color on the American flag? The first stripe?
Oh my gosh. Red.
Correct. Who is the first face on Mount Rushmore?
George Washington.
Correct. Who were the first people to fly a plane?
The Wright brothers.
Correct. In the Marvel movies, who's known as the first Avenger?
Captain America.
Correct. Back to the question you've missed. Who is the
all I
first
think-
lady of the
I
United
cannot
States?
think of-
Come on, Amy.
Ivanka. Melania.
No, Amy, come on.
Melania Trump.
Correct.
Yes!
There
Oh
she
my
goes.
God.
Gosh. Like all I could think of was happy birthday,
Crystal, happy birthday. You're the big winner here.
Holly.
Yeah. So your birthday
you.
your birthday just got better, huh? Be honest.
Yes, absolutely.
She did miss the secret celebrity, but she nailed this one.
That's good.
Yeah. We Amy, nice
I'm
work.
like sweating.
We were wondering what was wrong with you.
Oh, trust me, I was too. Like I literally, all I could think of was like, I was like, Trump. Well, I mean, obviously I knew it was Trump. I didn't know if I needed to say the last name. You needed me to, obviously.
Well, I would have taken Melania, even when you said that.
Oh, because I was saying it and you were like, waiting. You were like, correct.
What was that question?
What's the
First
name?
lady.
The name of the first lady.
The name of the first lady. I kept thinking Martha Washington.
Wait, no.
She's the
She
first
was.
first
She's
lady.
The former first lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the very first
First lady,
lady.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the question was who's basically the current,
Got
I
it.
assume. And man,
Good job, Amy.
you know.
Crystal, you're going to work. Are all the folks at your work at work?
Yes,
Okay. Well,
as of right now, yes.
tell them all we say hello if you can. And thank you for listening and stay on hold and we'll get you some prizes for your birthday. The Brothers Osborne signed vinyl is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank
right.
you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Bye.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
You're
All right,
welcome.
Let's play a jam.
Just kidding.
Sam Hunt, Ken Folks, Bobby Bones show. Thank you guys. Yesterday was Amy's birthday, and I felt bad she couldn't have any party at all. So I was like, hey, come to the house. And so we ordered from one of her favorite restaurants. Mm-hmm. I drove across town, got it. You know, and they say you can't get the corona from food. Like, even if a person does put it into food, you still can't get it. It doesn't transfer in food. So I went and picked it up. Like, just, you couldn't sit at the restaurant, but you could go in and grab it. Ordered it online when they grabbed it.
I know, but I felt so bad because the restaurant is right by my house. And then I got to Bobby's house and he wasn't there because he was out picking up the food. And I was like, this is so silly. I could have picked it up because.
On your birthday, you shouldn't have to pick up your food. And
know,
birthdays
but-
aren't about practicality.
Okay, it was not practical, but that was very thoughtful. I mean, I should have picked a restaurant
Well, you know my middle name.
super close to your house. Thoughtful?
No, William. I thought you knew it.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
we had that, and Caitlin made cupcakes.
Yeah, she did, and they were so good.
She made red velvet cupcakes for Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Spent a good amount of the day yesterday making them. I don't think it was like some just like mixture she put together.
Yeah,
She-
no, it was like the sprinkles recipe, which she adapted to make gluten-free, and then she did Pioneer Woman's cream cheese icing. Like, she put out all the stops. Like, I was like, whoa, this is a keeper.
Are you just now getting to that?
That's
No,
why.
She's been a keeper, but I mean, cupcakes sealed the deal.
So we ate cupcakes. Amy brought over some game where you put headphones on and it blocks out your hearing and you have to guess what the other person says.
It's called Hearing Things, in case you want to get a game for the house
Oh,
when you're
fun.
quarantined.
So we did that game for a little bit, but a couple hours. And
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad you couldn't have a big birthday party, but hope it was okay.
No, it was perfect. I mean, given the circumstances, like, it was great. I left there with my heart full and just felt really good. I mean, obviously, my kids being on spring break and gone and kind of quarantined down in Texas in their own little world. Like, I was like, oh, and there we did have a plan for a birthday. So I kind of thought, well, I'll just sit at home because that's the safe thing to do. And then when you invited me over, I was like, okay. And it was special. So thank you. It definitely helped a lot.
And we didn't break the quarantine rules.
No,
I'm with
stayed
Amy
apart.
right now, right? So we're always together anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there were no more than 10 people there. Mm-hmm. So just us. But it was nice. And
It was.
Amy hadn't seen my dog in a while, and he's gotten pretty big.
Oh my gosh, when he walked out, I was like, who is this little monster?
Yeah, he's gotten.
He's like a hoss.
He's chunk
He just comes
now.
out there like,
He's so heavy, huh?
Yeah.
Something's wrong with him, though. We can't quite identify it.
Oh,
I
really?
think it may be the medicine he's on because he had some like growth on the side of his face. They didn't know if something bit him or if there was some food that got lodged into his jaw, but they gave him some antibiotics. And he just has been like biting random things, overly aggressive toward like furniture and like ripping stuff up. He's been peeing randomly, never does any of this. So something is not right. Today, I may have said the wrong day, but today it goes back to the vet. And they're like, okay, you come and you sit in the car and you give us the dog and then we'll bring it
Yeah.
back to you. Because they don't want anyone close to them or in their place. I don't know what the deal is with the dog and the.
Yeah.
He's just been and at first I was irritated at him because he was being so bad. But now something's wrong with him.
Yeah. I think
We can tell.
it really is something.
He peed 4 times yesterday on the carpet. He peed 0 times on the carpet in weeks.
When he saw me, he peed.
He's
But
just like
Yeah.
his body's not right.
Yeah. It's like he can't control some stuff. that's
So
happening.
doing that, but it was fun. We had a good time.
Well, good. I'm glad that you had fun because I had fun.
Then we finished
So.
the 3rd episode of The Pharmacist last night after you left.
Okay.
We have one more to go.
You loving it?
I'm liking it. Caitlin and I'll do a review after it's over. I'm liking it. They're just now about to bring the doctor in, who you didn't even know was a thing, you know? So I'm watching that on Netflix. Over the weekend, we're going to watch a couple movies. She wants to watch Oklahoma.
Yes.
Like, can we not watch something that was made in our lifetime?
You might just
She
like it.
loves Oklahoma. The movie and the state, obviously. Matt Stell prayed for you, Bobby Bone Show. Appreciate you guys. Tom Hanks is doing not great, but still okay. The 63-year-old Oscar winner and his wife, Rita Wilson, remain in isolation in an Australian residence after being let go of the hospital. They have the corona. His sister says, I've communicated with my brother. He's not great, but he's still okay. And I saw Tom Hanks, too, talking about where he was like, I still got body aches. I still don't feel great, but I'm going to be all right. But also how uncomfortable to be not in your own house when you're sick. Mm-hmm. Like you want to be in a hotel room or on vacation and be sick, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for Caitlin right now because she lives in California and has for the past year or so, but she has a home. And they started shutting things down in Los Angeles 2-3 weeks ago. And so with that being said, she's like, I need to get out of here. So she came and stayed with me. Now we've been kind of quarantined together for 2 weeks or so, but she doesn't have all of her clothes. It doesn't have all of her, So I feel bad for her in a way too, because it's not, although I think she would rather be with me, I hope, than by herself. I think that for her, that's kind of stinky that you can't have all your stuff when it's not the most comfortable time anyway.
Yeah.
So again, there are worse things. There are people that aren't having their jobs now.
Very true.
But the good news is every single country music artist in the history of time is doing a live stream. So you can watch that at home.
Yeah. We
That is
always
good
we
news.
always have that.
Well, now it's like everyone's like, we're doing a live concert. We're like, yeah, there's 74 other people have done it. Like, it's cool for a second.
Yeah.
But now the next move is to somehow hook your instruments into a board that goes into the stream, because I can't listen to many people playing in their bathroom anymore.
Yeah.
But people just singing at their phone.
It's not the best quality.
Yeah, like you want to get us pumped up now? Make it good quality.
Right.
Don't Mike, we did it on Facebook Live, right? Where we had good quality stuff.
Yeah, you can basically get like an adapter that plugs into your phone. and
Dear
takes it from
artists
a
of
board.
country music.
Call Mike D.
We did that like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Dearest artists of country music. It was novel for a second when everyone was doing their live streams. But now let's up it a level where it actually sounds good. It was cute for a second, but now it's like let's up it and let's get
Yeah.
you a little board and let's hook it in so we can really enjoy the music. But I tell you, some of them, when you just sing like that, there's no effect on your voice, right? And it really shows you how good some of them are at singing. And
Yeah.
you're like, wow, they're real good. And then it also shows you some of them are not that good.
That's right.
But some of them you
yeah.
watch and you're like, wow, great. Like Luke Combs, you go, wow. Well, we've had a lot of these artists sing in studio, so we can. Luke Combs, like, holy crap, guys can really wail right there. Mm-hmm. But then some of them, you're like, oh, you should get one of those boards we've been talking about. Listen, we're all just trying to get by, man. They're just trying to get by. Let's do Jake Owen Homemade. Bobby Bone Show is the jam. Jake was doing concerts on Instagram and
Way
Facebook
before.
before Corona even hit.
That's right.
He's like the OG. All right, Bobby Bone Show.
Bella Studio on Music Row, The Bobby Bone Show.
You know, to keep from going crazy during this coronavirus, it's just making sure you limit your time reading about the coronavirus. There is a limit to, there's a level of being knowledgeable and then being crazed by it. And I sometimes walk that line where I just watch it all the time for like 18 hours. You know, I got into a podcast yesterday where I was listening about how this virus actually happened, right? This is one of the rare viruses that goes animal to human. So what's happened over time is occasionally there will be a virus that will go animal to human, and then inside the human it dies. It's not mutated enough to go human to human after it goes animal to human. So basically it lives in an animal. This is what happened with this virus. It lived in an animal, and from that animal, it had mutated enough to go to a human and had somehow taken a hold and then was easily transferable human to human. Rare, but it does happen. That happened with HIV as well. It was animal to human, then human to human. So with this, that's what happened. It was the almost like perfect ingredient of animal, human, mutation, human to human, and spreads like crazy. And so I'm listening to this podcast, and I call it coronavirus, and I'm listening to these doctors talk about the different viruses that have done that. But a lot of times, though, I may have said this already, when it goes animal to human, it doesn't go. It's not ready to go human to human. Like oddly, the human gets it and then gets sick or dies,
And that's it.
but there's no transfer. So I'm listening to all these doctors talk about it, and a lot of the doctors don't call it coronavirus; they call it COVID-19. And so I've heard them say it so many times. I'm walking around the house yesterday talking to Caitlin about it. And I'm like, yeah, and COVID-19. And she's like, okay, Dr. Fauci, relax with the COVID-19. We call it coronavirus like normal people here. But my point is, I start to get crazy because that's all I do. I consume myself with talking to folks. And coming up in the next 30 minutes or so, Dr. Schaffner will be on, who is one of the leaders worldwide in infectious diseases. And so we'll have that. And I just want to get on and talk to doctors and people who have been dealing with this from the beginning, which, by the way, the beginning's only the end of last year. And Dr. William Schaffner will be on, and his resume is nuts in a wonderful way that I feel like we'll be able to talk to him about normal questions we have living it every day. So here we go. I'm going to end on this part of it. Watch the news, be knowledgeable, but then get the crap out of there. And binge a Netflix show or something, because you will turn into me, and we don't want that. We only got
Trust us.
enough nuttiness. Can you put Dr. Schaffner's resume up there for me? I want to let listeners know what's coming up.
Balance the COVID and the mindless.
We'll call
TV.
it Corona, because if you start calling it COVID, then all of a
sorry.
sudden people start to roast you.
No, that's
And I
what my
don't.
husband calls it.
Well, but he is military by the book.
That's how they would discuss
We're
it.
layman's.
Yes.
We call it Corona.
Like that.
Yeah.
Corona.
And, even with gloves. And well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk to Dr. Schaffner coming up in a bit about gloves. Kelly in Nashville is on the phone right now, who's called us here on the show. Kelly, appreciate you calling the show. What's going on?
Hey, guys. How are you this morning?
Really good. What would you like to say?
Just wanted to say thank you for keeping some normalcy in such weird times between the tornado and now this. You guys have been on the air, so you've been consistent. We can wake up, we can listen to you, and it's great.
Well, I appreciate that. And even as of today, you can watch us on the live cameras. They're up. We're in the studio. I was talking to one of my friends who works over at Satellite, and she was like, yeah, we're out of the studio. I was like, they're just like everybody out. And, for as long as we can, we're going to be here. Eventually, they're going to have us check out, too. We're still going to be on the air, but I will, at some point, be broadcasting from my house. I was talking to Elvis Duran this morning. He was on the show yesterday. But I was talking to him because I know it's uncomfortable for someone who comes into a studio every day and works with the same microphone. It's like if you're working on a machine at work. You have a different machine. It just feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit him up and let him know that his mic sounds good. The quality sounds good. He said they're having some glitches, but what else do you expect when you have a bunch of people working from different houses? But we're going to be going through that at some point. I just would rather it be later and try to hang in as long as we can. But they're eventually going to shut us out. Except for like Raymundo probably is going to live up here on the radio station.
Yeah, I'll quarantine myself here. I got fridges and stuff like that. I can work out in the studio. I'm going to work out perfectly for my lifestyle.
Remember when you used to live here, though?
That's what I'm saying. It was something I wanted to do years ago.
We are on the bottom floor of this building. There's not a lot down here except our studios and like our little offices. And so Raymundo, for how many months did you live in the radio station?
I would say it was a month, probably.
Come on.
Nah, it's not true.
I met my fiance very soon after I was homeless.
Raymundo was living at the radio station and not telling anyone.
And why was he homeless? He was in between.
My lease ended with Lunchbox, and I think he was going to charge me an extra amount because I was breaking the lease or something. So I was like, I'm just moving out. I'm moving out. I'm not going to do another month with you.
Lunchbox was going to overcharge Ray.
Oh my
like
gosh.
he was just a landlord.
And Ray had nowhere to go.
So Ray was homeless.
Yeah, so then that's when I just stayed here for maybe 3-4 weeks. Nothing crazy.
And he would like sleep under the radio counters, get mail here. He
He
turned all
still
his
gets mail here.
What's wrong with you?
Oh.
Let's see. Kelly from St. Louis. Maybe we're talking about something other than coronavirus. I thought about that. But
Wait,
then
what did she say?
Maybe Kelly from St. Louis says maybe try talking about something other than the coronavirus. And we do a lot. But you
Yeah.
want to know what the thing most people want to hear about right now is not just the technical part of it, but normal people talk about how the coronavirus is affecting their lives.
Yeah.
What you can do about it, little life hacks. Also, I hate to call it this, but fun facts. Like the animal thing that I just told you, not super fun, but it's like, oh, wow, I didn't know that really that's what it was. Like when we get the doctor on in a bit, we're not going to have to go, so tell us about the chemical makeup of the virus. We're going to say, what about gloves? Eddie has a question about dish soap on your hands. So, and also if you look and see what people are Googling the most, it's this.
Right.
It also annoys us. We wouldn't talk about it if we didn't have to.
Right, but we're talking about it like friends are talking about it. Like
Kelly in
you're
St.
sitting
Louis?
around. I mean, yeah.
I appreciate you
But
listening.
I feel like we've got a good balance.
Dr. William Schaffner will be on. He is a professor in infectious diseases. He is an infectious disease expert. He was on, hey, scroll down for me, Mike. He was on some crazy board that he was the president. Here he is. The National Foundation for Infectious Diseases president, and has served on the executive board for the Infectious Diseases Society of America. Like, this dude knows what's up.
Yeah.
I heard he has to try them all out, too.
Yeah.
All the diseases?
Yeah.
just to know what he's
Before he
talking
studies
about.
them, he has to try them out.
It's kind of like.
Sounds terrible.
All right. We'll come back in a second. If you guys want to hit us up, you can. 877-77-BOBBY. Would love to talk to you. Back in 1 minute. You know, we tried last week to greet people. I tried by bowing. You tried by just waving at folks.
Waving. Like literally, they'd be right in front of me.
So we're trying to figure out ways to not shake hands where it seems pretty natural. And I was reading this article. It says, hey, here are some ways, instead of hugging or shaking hands, the head salute, the cadet. Like, hey, how's it going?
I like that one.
Okay.
Which, you know,
I feel like that belongs in a certain place. Like we're not, like that's military. We don't do that.
a head salute, it's respectful. Relax your shoulders, lift your arms, and expose your palms.
Okay. Oh, expose your palms. Is it supposed to be like this?
I don't know.
Backwards?
I'm not doing that one, so I don't know. I just
Okay.
kind of passed over that one.
Okay, good. I agree.
The long distance double kiss, where it's like,
No, stop that.
that's like Real Housewives stuff. If someone does that to me, I'm like, you probably drink Cabernet. Don't you?
Rosé all day.
Yeah, whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Flash a big smile with the peace sign.
Okay.
I feel like
Hey.
that's like Coachella and Stagecoach picture, Instagram picture girl. The royal wave with an exaggeration. That's weird. Like, because you're coming up to people, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think the handshake will ever be gone, but I don't think it'll ever be the same.
No,
you're
right.
I think we're probably going to lose about 25% effectiveness at handshaking. So we got to figure listen, but I've been doing daps for a long time. You know, I don't like touching hands before this.
But even they say, well, even with proper hand washing, they're making sure you get the backs of your hands. Something we don't think about that can still
And it's
touch
weird because
us.
I'll just sit at home and lick the back of my hand all day long. It's my fun thing. There was a whole story, too, about TV medical dramas. A lot of these doctor shows are giving their masks to hospitals to help fight coronavirus. Because they have a lot, because they need to be in production.
Like
and,
their props?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like wear them.
They have them on set.
Yeah, on set and in the warehouse. I saw Elon Musk tweeting with the guy from 538 yesterday, and he's like, hey, we'll make ventilators like Tesla does, space And Tesla does cars. We'll make ventilators. It's not super hard to make, but it's a bit time consuming. Tell us who needs them right now. And so I saw that tweet exchange. It's not a news story that I have in front of me, but I was watching that. And, a lot of people are trying to get involved best they can. But I thought that was interesting.
That is.
This woman in St. Louis who told me to stop talking, I'm a little on tilt right now.
Still?
Just like, what do you expect from us?
You gotta let it go.
If whatever you're talking about all day long is what we're trying to talk about in the morning.
Right. We can't
And
ignore.
I'm promising you're talking about this with your friends.
Correct.
What do you want us to do? Play the top 30 countdown on the morning show?
Yeah, I just feel like it's like we'd be completely tone deaf to not address it every now and then.
We should talk about those spring breakers. They did a news story yesterday where they went to kids who are on spring break right now, and the beaches are packed. They're going to have to shut down the beaches eventually, but the governor's still saying, nope, we're going to shut down the beaches. And it's like people are just melted together is how close they look.
Crazy.
I have missed that.
So these spring breakers are like, we're not going to stop partying. Here.
If I get corona, I get corona. At the end of the day, I'm not going to let it stop me from partying. I've been waiting. We've been waiting for Miami spring break for a while. About 2 months we've had this trip planned. 2-3 months. So we're just out here having a good time. Whatever happens, happens. With the bars being closed, we'll find alternatives. Unfortunately, it does suck.
Like, it's really messing up with my spring break.
Welcome to Miami. Welcome to Miami.
This virus ain't that serious. It's more serious things out there like hunger and poverty, and we need to address that.
The weird thing about, and I see the argument a lot, it's like, well, this many people have died on this, but you've had lesser many people, so we shouldn't worry. If you use that analogy, only the thing that kills the most people, period, would matter. Meaning you could go, well, heart disease doesn't kill as many people as whatever, so why are we worried about it?
Right.
And I'm not sure what the big killer is, but you could say, well, cancer doesn't kill people as car wrecks, so why are we worried about cancer? So when you use someone, they go, well, only 160 people have died in the past month and a half here, but we should worry about, people that eat sodium or people that have the real flu, or you can go and focus on all these different things. But and if you're using that, then the only thing we should focus on is the top thing and not worry about the other things.
Can you go stream in a TED Talk to these spring breakers?
No, there's nothing they can do to fix them.
They're not listening to anyone.
They're not fixable? Okay.
No, man, I just it's like the last couple months, I've just been thinking spring break rules. And it doesn't rule. Corona drools. So if I get Corona, I just get it, man. I'm going to have some White Claws and we can head out to the beach and just live life, Maybe we've been waiting for this for 6 weeks. What's wrong with you people?
Seriously, God, that's just so...
They're just idiot kids. And
they're kids.
Yes, and most idiots, and most kids are idiots, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's hard to be mad at idiot kids that don't know any better. You just wish maybe their parents would have slapped them silly earlier.
Right, when they were growing up.
Yeah. No, spring break, it just happens, man. I can't do anything about it. My body brought me here. I didn't even really know I was coming. I just woke up and it was spring break and it was like party, so I did. And I'll address Corona when I get back.
Bars are closed, but we're going to make our own bars.
Corona will be there when I get back, so why would I not worry about it right here? I'll do me.
The bars are closed. That's going to suck really bad, but...
I mean, I respect it.
About?
Corona, I respect it.
Okay, what was it? Vanessa Hudgens?
Will Smith joked that he feels responsible for a lot of the misinformation about coronavirus because the movie I Am Legend. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
By the way, I loved that movie, but that's something that gets spread around in that movie, and everybody's dying from it and disappearing. And he's going, hey, you're gonna see false facts, and it's a lot of people just pulling out info from this movie. And I Am Legend 2008, and so he plays a virologist who survived a man-made plague that turned humans into zombies. As part of his preparation for the role, Smith said he met with the Centers of Disease Control and the same group of people that are doing this pandemic now. And a lot of that stuff's coming from the movie. That dog in that movie is what I remember. I love that dog.
He's a star.
Mm-hmm. And then don't worry about a thing.
Yeah.
That was
Bob Marley.
a big song they would sing in the They go in the bathtub and sing that song.
Special time.
Back in the good old days when this stuff wasn't real.
I know.
It was just a movie.
Could just fantasize about it.
You fantasize about
No.
this? What are you into? We now find out what Amy and her husband do. They put on masks and like, all right, baby, what's the disease tonight?
Never mind.
Who's going to survive tonight, you or me?
That's not how I meant that to come out at all.
Was it bubonic tonight, baby, or what? What are we getting into?
Okay. Mm-hmm. That really came out wrong.
He's like, He pulls out his little Spanish guitar. Tonight is the Spanish flu.
I mean, back when it was just fantasy, like fiction.
No, you said fantasize. It's
George
I know.
R.R. Martin,
I said-
who wrote Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
is using this time to finish Game of Thrones.
Oh,
because
yeah.
He never finished. Not the movie, Nettie, not the show.
The books.
The books. Did you ever even watch the show?
No, but
Then
I
why
mean,
did you act so like
because
Yeah.
people love it.
He does this.
Yeah, act
I
like
do.
you
No.
Yeah.
People love that show. I'm like you, Amy. Like, I just feel like there's been too many episodes already that I'm not catching up.
Right,
So I'm
well,
not
But
going
you
to
like-
acted all like happy about it.
Because
like you
you
had
want-
any interest whatsoever.
You
Don't
want
be
someone
fake.
creative.
Don't be fake.
No,
You
like I
want
literally
someone-
thought you started the books. By your excitement,
No,
I was like,
no.
oh, wow, Eddie started the books.
Eddie read one book in his reading challenge, and now all of a sudden he's Mark Twain.
Can't say anything around here.
Nope. You can't, clearly. Like,
Fantasize.
Amy's like,
your
so listen, he put on the scrubs, right?
Her husband comes out with the scrubs.
I could, Dr. Chlorosol, room 2.
Yeah.
Dan and Chase speechless. Bobby Bone Show. On with us right now is Dr. William Schaffner, MD from Vanderbilt University Medical Center. He is an infectious disease expert. Dr. Schaffner, thank you for taking time with us.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Does everyone want to talk to you now?
Almost.
I mean, you're like the belle of the ball whenever
Yeah.
it comes to because this is what you are an expert in. I imagine your phone is blowing up.
Well, kind of. Yes, it's a busy time trying to get out the good information all about social distancing and how we have to stay away from each other so that the virus doesn't get from me to you or from you to me.
Okay, so let's just start with the questions. I love this guy, by the way,
Yeah,
Dr.
that's
Schaffner.
awesome.
I love him. Are children asymptomatic?
A lot of children seem to be able to get this infection and not become ill, but we're beginning to think that they may be contagious and they can transmit the infection. How frequent this is still under study.
And everything is still under study a bit, right? Because this is such a new virus.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I say that whenever I answer any question.
Was there anything that you studied or have studied through the years that is similar to this where you're going, well, this is kind of the same, but not really?
Well, yes. When Zika first hit, we had to learn all about that. And back in 2009, we had an influenza pandemic, the so-called swine flu. And that one was paradoxical because it affected children more than older people. So whenever there's a new infection that comes along, we all have to figure out exactly who the infection is attacking specifically.
By the way, Dr. Schaffner is past president of the National Foundation for Infectious Diseases and has served on the executive board for the Infectious Diseases Society of America. Do you guys ever have like a getaway? Like all of you, all the infectious diseases experts?
Actually, there's an annual meeting when all these infectious disease docs are together. We all know each other. We're all friendly, but we avoid shaking hands. There's a lot of elbow bumps that goes on, and then people reach into their purses or their jacket pockets, and out comes the hand sanitizer. So it looks like a hand sanitizer convention.
And that's been happening before this. You guys have been kind of living by that for a while.
Oh, for ages, right. Yes.
Well, wearing surgical type rubber gloves while out, if I'm out doing stuff, will that help?
I don't think it'll help because then the gloves become like your hands, and they can become contaminated also. You know, when in the medical setting, when we use gloves, as soon as we take them off, we go to the sink and wash our hands.
So a lot of folks...
So hand hygiene is really the answer. Don't worry with the gloves. Just wash your hands a lot or use those hand hygiene products.
You talk about hands. I have a bunch of sanitizer, obviously. If I get to either wash my hands or sanitize, which one do I do?
Flip a coin, whichever one is more convenient. Don't obsess about those distinctions. Just do it frequently and thoroughly. Make sure you get the thumbs and the back of your hands, too.
If you're feeling sick at this stage, when do we call a doctor?
That is probably one of the most frequently asked questions. If you have fever and a cough, that's the key to call. And I emphasize calling your doctor or other healthcare provider. Don't just walk into the waiting room and give whatever you have to everybody else who's sitting there.
if you think that you're infected and you self-quarantine, or maybe even if you are, what is the distance, the length until normal life again, until you can go out? Like, what happens then?
It's very difficult because if you're self-quarantining, you don't know whether you have influenza or some other respiratory infection. So I think the general rule is unless you've been diagnosed with COVID, once you get completely better, you can go out. Make sure your temperature is down, wait for another day or so, and then I think you're okay to get back into the world.
You know, they have
But when I say into the world, in the present time, I mean 6 feet from everybody.
Yeah, which leads to my next question. 6 feet, social distancing. So why is it important to not be in a group of more than 10 people?
You know, it's simple numbers. We know that this infection is transmitted through close contact, right? Within 6 feet, I breathe out the virus, and if you're close in, you breathe in, and you may get some of my virus along with the air that you breathe in. So we want to keep separated. The more people we contact, the more likely it is we'll find someone who's got COVID. So the notion is stay away from groups because there are a lot of people there, and the chances are greater than that someone will be there who's got COVID and could give it to you.
Is it possible, because I keep hearing these stories about if it gets warmer, there's a chance that the virus dies. I hear you making noise. Like, tell me your thoughts on this.
So we know that COVID is a respiratory virus, and so is flu. And flu and other winter respiratory viruses get better. That is, they kind of go away once the temperature gets warm. Now, has this new virus read the textbook, and does it know it's supposed to do that? Well, we don't know that yet. So perhaps this virus will act that way and kind of go away during our spring and summer, but maybe it didn't read the text and doesn't know it's going to do that, and it's going to continue. It's one of those things where I have to say, we'll wait and see.
I guess that's the thing with this, because it hasn't existed. We're waiting and seeing on a lot of this stuff. A lot of my listeners are reaching out asking, should they go and get things like their biannual mammogram or their dental cleaning or their heart doctor appointment, things like that?
Oh, the question is, how essential is that visit? The regular tooth cleaning, I would put that off. If it's a routine visit like the mammogram, unless, of course, it's a mammogram on indication, if someone's felt a lump or something like that, then I would put the routine, non-essential visits off for a while. But if you have to see the doctor for something specific, then, of course, go ahead.
Dr. William Schaffner, MD from Vanderbilt University Medical Center, an infectious disease expert, is on with us now. Eddie, what would you like to ask him?
Yeah, hey, Doc, I have a question about soap. I've seen a lot of grocery stores are out of antibacterial soap or just soap in general. Does it matter what kind of soap that you wash your hands with? Do you need a specific type?
Like dish soap?
Right. Does that work?
Everything works. Don't worry about the kind of soap. This virus will be picked up and killed by just any kind of soap or any household disinfectant. If you're being careful and disinfecting some of the surfaces in your house, use any household disinfectant. It will work.
I don't have a spleen, Doc. What?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
I had a surgery and they removed my spleen when I was a kid. I didn't even think about this. What's up with that?
Well, the fact that you've had your spleen out does make you more susceptible to certain bacterial infections, but not necessarily to COVID. Thank goodness.
Nice.
So, good.
Cool. So I'm free to run around and do whatever I want.
Doctor, tell him no.
Yeah. This is where you say no, Doc.
No.
Doctor say no.
Would you go to a restaurant, Dr. Schaffner, to pick up food with people making food?
Yes, I would still do that. The restaurants are spreading their tables farther apart. They're taking fewer reservations just so that people can be more distant. And certainly pickup and delivery works. And if you're judicious, going out with one other couple to the restaurant, I think that's still okay. We're not yet in a total lockdown circumstance, but don't hang out at a bar. They're closed anyway, but don't hang out in large groups for any extended period of time. Avoid those groups.
Well, we very much appreciate you talking to us, and we got listeners all over the country that are very appreciative of your time as well. I know you got a lot to do. So thank you so much for your time, and hope you have a great day today. And you're out changing the world, Doc.
Stay healthy, everybody. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
There he is.
Bye-bye.
Dr. William Schaffner, MD. He graduated from Yale in 1957. He attended the University of Freiburg, Germany as a Fulbright scholar, Cornell in 62. I just keep going, but he is the disease control guy.
Oh, wow.
He then commissioned, it's on and on. It's all the CDC stuff. He, like you said, he was president of the Infectious Disease Club.
Yeah.
Is that a club? I don't know if it's a club.
That was so helpful.
Yeah, it was. I liked having him on. When I first got the email, though, that we had a phone call with him, I didn't read the whole thing. I just thought, oh, cool, William Shatner is coming on the show today.
Oh, William Schaffner.
But I mean, I just didn't yeah, I just
William
glanced
Shatner.
at the email. So I was like,
Did you
okay,
guys
this
like
makes more sense.
How he said respiratory or
respiratory. You can tell he knows more than us because he's using saying it in a way.
For sure.
Okay, there you go. Appreciate that. And you know what? Like he says, wash your hands. And because of that, let's play it again. Here it is, the Raging Idiots. Wash your hands here on the Bobby Bones Show.